Microplastics are tiny plastic materials that are formed out of degradation of plastics. Now, as we know, plastics have been used by us for decades together now, and we have created such a big amount of pollution in the environment that these microplastics are seen to be there in the air, they are seen to be in the water, and also the food that we eat. So it's important to acknowledge their presence in our day-to-day routine and around us. Microplastics, especially BPA and phthalates, are known to be the principal culprits leading to abnormalities in the female and the male reproductive system. BPA or bisphenol A is one of the important microplastics which behaves like estrogen and testosterone in men. Now, when they behave or mimic the estrogen molecule, they tend to disrupt the hormonal balance in women. This tends to lead to indirectly hormonal disturbances. Especially, it is known that when one is exposed more frequently or on a prolonged period of time to microplastics, the development of polycystic ovarian syndrome seems to be one of the principal manifestations. These are also known to be associated with the other spectrum of ovarian disturbance, which is premature ovarian insufficiency or an early menopause. So microplastics have major effects on the female reproductive system, especially the ovarian function, either leading to a disruption wherein too many eggs develop in the ovary, which is PCOD or PCOS, or leading to disruption of egg development, which is premature ovarian insufficiency or early menopause. Not only this, they also seem to be affecting the fetus or the developing baby. So it's important to acknowledge the effects of microplastics on the development of the pregnancy. It's known to have all ill effects on the pregnancy. So pregnant women should and must consider ways of limiting exposure to microplastics in their day-to-day routine. The other important factor or the important manifestation of these microplastics is on men. They are known to affect the DNA of the sperm, which can lead to higher DNA fragmentation, which in turn can lead to infertility or subfertility, or it can also have generational effects that are transmitted on to the child. So plastics do have a major impact on fertility, so it's important that men and women consider reducing their exposure. Now, how do we reduce their exposure? One, it's very important that we consider not using plastic at all in our day-to-day routine. And one of the important contributors of microplastics is the bottles, water bottles. It's important to avoid even food containers that are made out of plastic. So shifting over to glass containers or shifting over to steel or metal containers is one important thing that we should definitely consider. It's also important to purify water wherein microplastics can be removed, especially the RO systems, which are the most commonest water purifiers that every household uses, are very good in removing microplastics. It's very important that these RO filters are serviced correctly and the filters are changed on a regular basis to make sure that they are functioning appropriately. Avoid synthetic clothing, eat fresh, avoid processed food. And at the same time, when you are choosing cosmetics and toiletries, make sure that you look out for a label of microbead free. Now, microbead free means that the particular product is free of microplastics, so that would be the best choice for us when we are trying to avoid the ill effects of microplastics. Pesticides and herbicides are important chemicals that are used in agriculture and gardening, wherein you are using it either to kill pests or you are using it to enhance the growth of the plant. Now, these kind of chemicals are especially rich in some of the pollutants that enter into our food chain, especially organophosphates. They act as endocrine disrupting chemicals. They tend to have an effect in women on the ovary and in men on the sperm forming organ. They are also known, just like microplastics, to be having an effect on the menstrual regularity. They seem to be affecting the hormone balance in the women and leading to either malfunction of the ovary or a poor implantation of a developing embryo. They also, when exposed in high levels, can affect the development of the baby or the fetus inside the uterus. So it's important to be aware that these are the chemicals in our surrounding that can affect us. These chemicals also do not spare men. They seem to be affecting the sperm motility, and also the DNA of the sperm, leading to high fragmentation of the DNA, eventually leading to infertility and also some epigenetic effects on the baby. So limiting exposure to pesticides and herbicides is an important factor that men and women should always consider. Now, how do we limit is the question. It's important that we should always, whenever we are sourcing vegetables, if possible, go the organic path. So try and source veggies and fruits which are more organically grown, sustainably grown. They help in minimizing exposure to these. It's important to know the practices in and around your area. So in your community or in the area where you live, how are the grains, the veggies, the fruits are grown. It's important to know how much of these chemicals are used in the farming practices. That helps us be aware and at the same time limits its exposure into our system. And if one is using these chemicals inside the home, it's very, very important that you don't get exposed too much, wear protective gear. At the same time, avoid using it indoor totally. It's important that you can wear masks or wear gloves when you're spraying the plants. At the same time, inform people around you so that they don't unknowingly get exposed to these chemicals. At the same time, if you have farms close by or living in an area where there are agriculture or farms, it's important to be aware when the spraying of chemicals happens so that you limit your outdoor exposure during that time so that these chemicals do not get into your system. At the same time, rinsing the veggies thoroughly to make sure that whatever is stuck on the surface of food source is completely and thoroughly removed. Also important is peeling. So peeling the outer layer of a vegetable helps in taking away the chemicals from it. So rinse thoroughly and peel wisely, which means it's important that if any chemicals are stuck on the surface of these veggies, taking the surface layer away will help in removing all these chemicals and limit the exposure to these chemicals. Non-stick cookware, which have been in vogue for almost a couple of decades, has been a hot favorite among women, particularly because of the ease of cooking. And non-stick cookware have a coating of Teflon on it. Previously, there used to be a chemical called as PFOA, which used to be used for this Teflon coating. And PFOA is one chemical which is known to be associated with many of the ill effects on the reproductive system, both in men and women. PFOA, which was the original chemical which used to be used in Teflon, is replaced by a new molecule called as PTFE, which is one of the chemicals which helps in that particular function of making sure that cooking is appropriate and helps in non-sticky function of the pans. But however, one needs to remember that when these pans or cookware are scratched or if they have any cracks within that layer of Teflon coating, they tend to get into our system. So using non-stick cookware is a little tricky. When used, women should be extremely careful about use of these, making sure that there are no scratches or no breakages within the continuity of the Teflon coating to prevent any of these chemicals coming into the food chain. One other alternative would be to choose more wisely with respect to your cookware. You could consider stainless steel cookware, you could consider ceramic or glassware, you could also consider clay or stone cookware, which are more eco-friendly, more sustainable and less likely that they'll leave out any chemicals that can harm us. Perfumes are made of natural extracts and synthetic compounds. Now the second part of it, that synthetic compounds, there are several types of them which tend to have an effect on reproductive health. Some of the examples of these synthetic compounds are phthalates, synthetic musks and parabens. Now these synthetic compounds tend to act as endocrine disrupting chemicals or EDCs. Now what does one mean by EDC? They behave just like an estrogen molecule or a testosterone molecule. Now these are hormones that are very natural for a lady and for a man, and if there is a chemical that behaves just like estrogen, it tends to destroy the natural balance and thereby leading to menstrual irregularities, hormone disturbances, abnormalities like polycystic ovaries or even premature ovarian insufficiency. It's important to recognize that if one uses a perfume, what we are getting exposed to will help us make sure that we limit its use. It is also known that these endocrine disrupting chemicals can affect the outcome of a pregnancy and have some effects on the baby. These chemical compounds that are found in the perfumes can also affect men and sperms and lead to increased DNA damage, affect the hormone balance in a man and lead to infertility. How do we limit the effect of these perfumes on our general health? One could consider using fragrances with natural essential oils. One should carefully read the labels when they are buying perfumes. You have to look out for words like phthalates, look out for words like parabens or synthetic musks. These are important EDCs or endocrine disruptors that are usually used in perfumes. So avoid any perfume that has these in their components. The other way is limit the use. Principal and the most important way of making sure that these environmental pollutants don't affect us in a bad way. Having known that we live in such a polluted environment, so it's extremely important for men and women to be aware, which is the most important and critical factor, and stay informed. Please do read, please do source information. When you seek information, you find information about these things. Limit exposure to these things. That in turn will help maintain a good reproductive health.